Our family thinks we're crazy, our friends keep asking what we're doing, and after 120 days on the carnivore diet, we've lost a combined 100 pounds.
Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. We're the Carnivore Couple. I'm Pat.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we have been on the carnivore diet now for 4 months.
Yeah, and we have had completely different months. Let's start with the positive.
So for me, my goal was to lose 10 pounds this month. I lost 11 pounds.
What? I didn't even know you lost 11. Awesome job, babe.
So I started before all this, I started at 301 pounds. And this morning I weighed 247, so I've lost 54 pounds. And when I hit that 50-pound mark, it was just like insane. It was just like, wow, I accomplished something so crazy. Now I still have a long ways to go, but you know that I feel really good.
It's a milestone.
Yes, it's a huge milestone.
Yeah.
It's halfway to where I want to be.
I had a horrible month 4, and during that month I had gained 2 pounds, but over the last 2 weeks I have been strict and on track. And even in these last 2 weeks, I have already seen the benefits of carnivore. My inflammation that came back is already residing. I have more energy, and I was up to 248 pounds, and I have lost those 2 pounds I gained plus 4 more. So I'm now down to 242 pounds. And then we also took our measurements, and I was not expecting to have had any change in my measurements, but I actually lost 1 inch on my chest, a half an inch on my waist, and then another inch on my hips. So much so is that I also had clothes that were still not fitting. So I ordered 3 different things, and I was able to order a size 18, a size 18, and a size 16. Mind you, I started at size 24, and all of them fit.
Yep.
So that was encouraging.
I've had a great 4 months, and this last month I've noticed 3 different things that happened. One is people noticed that I started losing weight. Yeah. Someone at work was like, "Hey, you look thinner. Have you been losing weight?" I was like, "Yeah." So that was kind of nice.
He is looking real thin. I'll have to show you all a picture. He's looking good.
And we had a family party at our house yesterday, actually. And her aunt noticed that we were both losing weight and we looked thinner. So that was and she didn't know we were on a health journey or anything. Yeah. Something else that I've noticed is that about a month or 2 ago, I started buying smaller clothes because my other clothes were too big. But now the smaller clothes I bought are loose and getting too big. So it's like you think do I buy new clothes or not, or just wait?
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that those non-scale victories, your clothes are getting looser, even the smaller clothes are getting looser, and you're shrinking. You know, you're losing inches. So it's a positive thing, very positive. I also have noticed that my cravings and tastes are different now than they used to be. I smoked some ribs today, and those ribs were really good, but after I ate them, it just didn't satisfy me like a ribeye does. I just kind of was like, I really wish I just had a steak, you know? And before, I would just crave ribs, and I'd much rather have ribs than a steak, but now it's just nothing really hits a spot like a big old slab of beef, you know?
I'll take all the ribs.
So that's been different. Also, we had a family party yesterday, and we had bought a giant thing of ground beef and some hot dogs, and I grilled them up. And yesterday morning, we were like, crap, we didn't buy any buns because we're so used to not buying any bread or carbs.
We're like, oh yeah, people actually eat hamburger and hot dog buns.
So we had to go buy buns because we're not used to going to the bread aisle anymore.
Exactly.
So it's interesting how when you do this for now 4 months, how it becomes a lifestyle and a way of eating instead of just a diet.
Like, we honestly had not thought about buying buns at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, we'll just have a hamburger patty and, hot dogs and so.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. And also, this last week, I went to the doctor for the first time in 10 plus years. The first time I've ever voluntarily went to the doctor for a checkup, and probably since I graduated high school. So that's been a change. So everything checked out fine, and I got my blood work done, and the results video will be coming up soon, so stay tuned for that.
And I thought it was interesting. So you said you almost passed out from your blood draw.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and then they tried to offer him orange juice.
Yeah. And I was like, no, just give me some water.
After he had already told them he does like no carbs at all. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting how even at the doctor's office, they're trying to offer you a cup of sugar.
Yeah, it's very weird to think about it. Because it's what's killing people.
But we're excited to hear back from your blood work and see how things are going, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we feel the changes in our body and on the outside, but we really want to know how it's going medically, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's talk about your month.
Oh. All right, y'all. So month 4 has been the most difficult month of this entire process, and the reason is mainly because I got into a cycle of cheating. And the way I got into that cycle of cheating is partly because at the beginning of June, we were still feeding our toddler some junk. And so we still had some processed food in our house. We still had some mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, peanut butter and jelly. You know, the things you think that kids just eat that kind of stuff. And so we still had that in our house for our toddler, but then that was just continuously tempting me. So then as I was preparing his food, or if he didn't finish everything, I'd be like, oh, what can it really hurt? I'm just gonna have a little tiny bite of this, a little spoonful of that, and then all of a sudden all those carbs and sugar cravings just came rushing back, and then before you know it, I'm in my car feeling emotional, not dealing with that in the correct way, and then going through a drive-through, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times of terrible drive-through food. And so then I got to the end of June, month 3, and I'm just feeling like I'm at this crossroads. Either I'm just gonna fall off completely, or I need to get back on track, go back to being strict, or Patrick is going to go on this journey and leave me behind feeling miserable about my body while he's smoking hot. So I really had to make a change. And so I've done a lot of different little things that have helped me make that change. The biggest change I think we've made is that we have decided this health journey is no longer just a journey for our own weight loss and for our own health, but this is a journey for our entire family. So that obesity, the cycle of obesity in our family isn't just going to stop with me. It's not going to just stop with you, but it's also going to stop with our son. And so we have really discussed and talked about how we are no longer going to be serving our toddler junk food like the peanut butter jelly, the goldfish. We are serving our toddler now whole foods, lots of protein, some fruits mixed in there, low carb vegetables, and that way he is not going to be set up with horrible habits that we developed growing up and then ending up in the same place where he's this obese person having to go through a weight loss journey like us. So we got rid of all of that food out of our house so it's no longer tempting us, but then also so that we can set our kid up for success in the future.
Exactly. And it's funny you mentioned, what's this one bite going to do? How's this one bite going to hurt? Well, it really hurt you, right? It brought those cravings back. It led you in a spiral down to self-sabotaging yourself. And you ended up cheating and you put on some weight. Yeah,
I did gain 2 pounds throughout this process, which is honestly not terrible considering how many times I cheated.
How was your inflammation? Did it come back, or is it?
Yes, and so my skin condition, I ended up with more spots over my body. I was feeling very fatigued, tired, feeling like crap again, and so I knew I had to pull myself out of this because I know that I have the tools to pull myself out of this. I just had to do it. And so I guess for me, this month has really been about dealing significantly with my food addiction and being strict with myself. And so that started with getting all the processed food out of our house and basically doing this for our whole family, and that our whole family is now going to eat whole foods. And then in addition to that, I think what I realized is that I needed a lot more accountability and a lot more personal barriers to myself. And how that started was that I posted my whys in my bathroom mirror. So I would be constantly reminded of that every morning. I posted pictures of where I started. I posted pictures that I took, I don't know, at least 10 years ago when I was closer to my goal weight as motivation. I posted those whys in my pantry. So every time I open my pantry, I'm reminded of it. And then importantly, I posted those whys in my car. And so it's a lot harder for me to go and cheat if those whys are there and I'm constantly reminded of why I'm doing this, that I want to have a healthy pregnancy, that I want to set up
Didn't you also
habits.
post like lies that you tell yourself
Yes.
in your car too?
And then in my car, I also, because now that we've gotten all the processed food out of our house, I'm not as tempted when we're home, but there's still that temptation in the car. So I posted some, and this was from one of you guys, one of our subscribers, who said, also post your lies. So lies you tell yourself to justify things like, I don't have time to cook a healthy meal. That's a lie. We have time to cook.
Takes
Or
5 minutes to cook eggs.
yeah,
seriously.
exactly. Or I deserve a cheat meal. That's a big lie I would tell myself. If
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
having a hard day, I deserve a cheat meal. How about we deserve a healthy life? We deserve
Yes.
to live long. And so I also posted those. I put a few carnivore type snacks in my car. So if I'm having cravings in my car, I have something to turn to that's not fast food. But I think also the biggest thing is, I mentioned in our 3-month update about my wallet, leaving my wallet. But, you know, that has my driver's license and things like that. So how about you tell them what you did with my wallet?
So I went through a wallet. I took her debit card out and all the cash.
Yeah.
All that's in there is a credit card. But that credit card is linked to my phone. So
Yeah.
every time it's used, I get a notification and a text. So
And guys,
Yeah.
I knew that the credit card was linked to his phone.
so you didn't use it.
So if I was
Yeah.
going to go cheat, I would bring cash or I would bring a debit card because I knew he doesn't always go look on the bank statements.
But I check it once a week, so I did see that.
So he eventually
know?
saw that I cheated,
Yeah.
but then he wouldn't find out right away. I mean, I guess that's like, that tells you how much I was addicted to doing this, because I was willing to go that far
Jump
to
through all
cover
those
up my
hoops to cover it
tracks.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess I just had to really reflect on myself and know that I'm doing that to myself, and then, you know, talk with you about it, and then you help me come up with ways to have those obstacles in the way.
Yeah.
So,
All in all, though,
yeah.
I feel like you learned a lot this
I
month.
did.
A lot
I
about
learned a
yourself, a
lot.
lot about your addiction, and ways to get past those addictions,
Yeah.
those cravings.
And I will say, so that was the 3rd week of June that I really started turning around. And I have to tell you guys, I have not cheated one time.
And that's been 2 weeks?
That's been 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Solidly, I have not cheated one time. I have not had a piece of carb or piece of sugar enter my mouth. And from like grabbing little pieces every single day to not cheating at all, that is a huge win.
And this just goes back to things we've said from the very beginning, at least since month 2.
Yeah.
The most important thing about your health journey, your weight loss, is your mindset. If you don't get your mindset right, you're gonna fail. You're gonna cheat, and you're gonna let those addictions creep back up on you. And making food the center of your world, and it's just and having comfort in food is not gonna sustain you for the long haul.
But
So,
that also doesn't mean if you can't get your mindset right in the beginning,
Right.
it doesn't mean don't start.
Correct.
And it doesn't
Exactly.
mean you're not gonna mess up.
100%.
You know, I feel like we're always working on our mindset. Like
Yeah.
when we started, I think I had a really good mindset,
Yeah.
but I've continued to hone that mindset down and get better and better and better as this
Right.
process has continued.
Right. And no one's the same. This this is not a race, it's a
Yeah.
marathon, right? So just because I've been successful and have a strong mindset doesn't mean you will or you will, right?
Yeah, I definitely.
Everyone everyone is different. And there may be a time when I cheat, hopefully not, but
Yeah.
everyone's different, and you just have to know yourself, recognize your cravings, recognize your addiction.
Yeah.
And sugar and carbs are just so addictive, and realize that, and put barriers. Get yourself an accountability partner. All the things we talked about in our previous videos. Do those things. Set
Yeah.
those barriers so you're successful. You know?
And you may realize that the barriers you set up didn't work. Like just not taking my wallet with me didn't work. And so then you have to figure out new things to do and just keep trying and keep going because it is worth it. I will say that first week back on Carnivore was so hard because those cravings were intense. But now that I'm going into week 2 of being on it, it feels like, oh, I'm back into my old habits, my better way of eating, and it feels normal again. Goals for next month. What are your goals for this coming month?
My goals, weight-wise, is to lose 10 more pounds. I think that's going to be a consistent goal for me because that seems to be pretty achievable and realistic. I was not very good at working out as much as I wanted to this past month. So I'm going to bare minimum is going to be 3 times per week. That's my goal for this month. And I am going to try to do a mostly BBBE this month.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What?
I'm going to try to.
Oh.
I have some chicken I need to cook and get rid of. Yeah. But after that's gone, I'm going to try to stick to BBB.
That means we're both going to have to do BBB.
Well, for the most part, we're doing it anyways. It's just every once in a while we'll have pork or chicken or whatever. So. Okay. But that's my goals for this month.
Good for you.
What about you?
Okay. My goals are pretty simple. Number 1. Stay on the carnivore diet.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
I mean, that's where I'm at right now. My number 1 goal is to stay consistent, and that is the hardest goal. Like we talked about, I have lots of different things to help me do that. So number 1 goal is to stay consistent. Number 2 goal is to do some research on how to make healthy meals for your children. Lots of you have commented about Nisha Berry and things like that. So taking the time to watch her videos and to get ideas of quick, easy meals for my children. Yeah.
She has a lot of great recipes. I've been watching her videos.
Yeah, so. I need to watch more and just make the time to watch that and learn, because this is a process. I've never cooked this way before in my life, and so I'm needing to learn more about that. Yeah. And then goal number 3, I've read so much horrible research about artificial sweetener, and I still sometimes have it. And so I need to slowly continue to get that out of my diet, because it just brings back those sugar cravings.
Ditto. So that is how our 4th month went. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Helps us get the word out to other people. And also be sure to check out this video where we talked to our friend Carnivore Kip about his journey and how he inspired us to start a YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, y'all. Stay strong. You done laughing?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is how our month was. A lot of ups and downs and hills and valleys. But so that is how June went for us. If you've enjoyed this video, so that is how June went for us. I can't restart.